Welcome to the Killeen Career Center, the best place at Killeen ISD where you can start building your future with special courses like graphic design, audiovisual production, cosmetology, automotive technology, welding, and so much more. Find out more about KCC on the district website, www.killeenisd.org. And remember to dream big, work hard.
Hi, welcome to the first episode of Inside KISD for the 2024 school year. I'm Isabella, Lara.
And I'm Briana, Razo.
Thanks for joining us. On this week's episode, we'll see what goes into creating the radio show Spillin Tea with Mr. B and hear about the Steel Award winners for January.
We'll also learn more about campus policies and ask students what they got for Christmas. All this and more on Inside KISD.
Tuesday, two Killeen ISD basketball players received some good news this week. Harker Heights senior David Punch was announced as the official nominee for the 2024 McDonald All-American Boys basketball game, while Shoemaker sophomore DJ Moore is up for a weekly award from Dave Campbell Texas Basketball. Moore, a guard who posted 28 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 steals in a recent Gray Wolves game against Ellison Eagles, will be up for the votes in the Dave Campbell to Mr. Texas Basketball Week 9 pool until Thursday, January 11th. The winner will be announced Friday, January 12th. Shoemaker currently is 19-5 this season and ranked number 19 in the Texas Association of Basketball Coaches Class 5A pool. Punch, who recently passed the 1,000-point threshold for his career with the number 24 ranked ninth, is one of 29 players from Texas and 343 players overall who are now up for the final selection. From the group, 24 players will be chosen to play in the McDonald's All-American game on April 2nd at the Toyota Center in Houston. The McDonald All-American Game Selection Committee will be announced the final 24 on Tuesday, January 24th, between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. The 2024 McDonald All-American Girls Game will air on April 2nd at 5:30 p.m. on ESPN2, and the boys game will immediately follow on at 8 p.m.
Here at KCC, students join our AV production teacher, Mr. Bartosik, on the radio podcast Spilling Tea with Mr. B, produced by AV student Dekaedence Gideon. The show gives students a chance to learn what goes into broadcasting on the radio and covers topics about student life, holiday plans, academic plans, and much more. Spilling Tea student producer Dekaedence Gideon brings us the story.
I don't do it. I'm resolute all the time. So, how about you? What do you have going on?
Hi, I'm Mr. B. I'm the host of Spillin Tea with Mr. B, a radio show broadcast on My 95.1. So for years, I've been pressuring Mr. Garrett, telling him I want to host a radio show. Years now, it's been. This year, two of my students, Hamida, Botchway, and Dekaedence, Gideon, also pressured Mr. Garrett to give me a show. And he told them he was on board for it. So I sat with them and we developed kind of I sat with my students and we developed kind of a show, what the show would look like. We decided to brand it Spillin Tea with Mr. B since they're seniors and they would be leaving. We couldn't really, we wanted to make it a legacy title. So we named it after me. We try to make the show as student involved and as student produced as possible. This last episode we just did was produced by one of our students, Dekaedence. She came up with the topics, she found the people we talked to, and we sat down and recorded the show.
Happy birthday to you.
Some of the topics we discuss on the podcast can range from the weather to whether we take time off on our birthdays, school happenings. With students, we try to maybe give the outside world a look into what it's like to be a student here in KISD. So far, we have talked about everything from trying to bring back Power Hour with students to what they like to eat, holiday traditions. This last episode, we talked to Jalen about our upcoming skills competition. Really, as long as it's school appropriate, it works for our show. Students can participate in two ways, or I guess maybe in several ways. they can either talk to me directly and say, hey, Mr. B, I want to be on your show. Or they can get with one of our student producers, Dekaedence, and tell her that they want to be on the show and bring something to the table. What does that person want to talk about? And how can we build a show around that concept? So by either contacting me personally or our producer, Dekaedence. So people looking to listen to the show can find it in two places. One, it broadcasts on my 95.1, KISD's low-powered radio station. It broadcasts from Ellison High School and gets about most of the Killeen area. So you can listen live on Sundays at 7 p.m. and Wednesdays, and on every other Sunday at 7 p.m. and every other Wednesday at 7 p.m. Or you can catch it on our Instagram, and that's KCC Film Class on Instagram. And you can see all the other work our students do, not just Spillin Tea with Mr. B. So I'd like to say that Spillin Tea with Mr. B is meant to be another content creation, vehicle for students. In our class, we do a lot of hands-on work. That's how our class is structured. That's what we do. We are continually making content every week, all of the time. I think that provides students a good connection to the real world. Some of the problem with media is that a lot of times students don't get credit for, a lot of times people don't get credit for the media that they create. So I've been trying to create vehicles where students can be heavily involved and get credit for those productions. Because ultimately, if they're not seen, if they're not noticed doing this work, people kind of burn out and don't want to do it anymore.
Ellison High School Budgeting Secretary Alina Hatton and Property Management Records Center Technician Tammy Thorman are KISD Steel Award winners for January. Superintendent Joanne Fay joined Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources Will Baker and other district leaders in honoring the two award-winning employees. STEEL stands for Supporting the Education and Empowerment of Learners. In just 2 years at Ellison, Hatton has made a major impression. She began working at the school as a coordinator for substitute teachers. Her effort to get to know the subs personally and call in specific people based on their availability helped smoothen the daily process of getting classes covered. When the group entered Ellison to honor the secretary, she was clearly surprised and shied from the spotlight as students in the comments area cheered. Now, there are substitute teachers who request to go to Ellison because of her personal touch. KISD's Property Management Department technician Tammy Thorman is similarly inclined to work diligently behind the scenes. She helps to coordinate the purchase of textbooks, furniture, and other instructional materials without fanfare. Her colleagues, however, know that her work is critical to keeping the school district functioning. Each month, 2 staff-nominated KISD employees receive the Steel Award, a circular steel plaque cut, polished, and painted at the Career Center.
Wearing ID cards is the bane of student life. We spoke with KCC Assistant Principal Mrs. Tomarki about the importance of wearing your ID card, what rules students have to follow, and why those rules are important. Student journalist Hamida Botchway tells us more.
The reason why it's important for students to wear their ID cards is, first of all, it's safety and security. We have to ensure that the campus is safe and secure, and by doing that, it's important for students to wear their ID cards, and it's a procedure. That's what the district wants campuses to do. That's what high school campus must do, is to ensure that campuses, that students are wearing their ID cards, and it's got to be visible and above the waist. Well, I mean, for one, for the pros, it's definitely that it just tells everyone that student should be here. The student is wearing an ID card and it should be on this campus. So that's a pro. Also, for the student's sake, the student's complying with the policy and procedures that's in place for the student to wear the ID card. Some of the cons to it, it's not cons, but consequences for not having an ID card is, so if a student walks into the campus without an ID card, but the student is and should be on this campus, the student has to get issued a temporary ID. And so we use a hero system, and so for every 4 minor violations, so if a student, say misses, or say he comes to school without an ID card 4 times, that generates a referral, and then the student has to do a Saturday detention. So for every 4, the student will have to do a Saturday detention. Now, if it becomes persistent, of course, we can elevate that to ISS, so forth and so on. So it's important for a student to wear their ID cards. Safety and security. You know, staff members have to wear their ID card as well. Same thing. It just alerts everyone that this person should be on this campus. It doesn't have to be a student only that should be wearing an ID, but it should be everybody on this campus wearing an ID. You know, all visitors must enter through the front and get a visitor's badge. So that way, it just alerts everybody that this person should be on this campus. And so, of course, you know, we ask everyone to ensure that we're checking for ID cards. That's why we always ask, where's your ID cards? Because if we see someone without an ID card, then we need to address it. And if that person should not be on this campus, and then we escort that person off campus. It's for the safety and security of all people on this campus. Not only students, but staff members as well.
Did Santa bring you everything you wanted for Christmas? Student journalist Lorenzo Williams navigates the halls of KCC asking students if they got everything they wished for this year.
Hello guys, welcome back to another Vox Park. Today I will be asking KCC students what they got for Christmas. Thank you.
What's up, gang?
What did you get for Christmas?
I got a new phone. I got some clothes. I got some cologne, and I got a shaving kit. Yeah.
I got a 24-pack of 12-ounce Red Bulls from Sam's Club.
I like that, honestly.
I got some new Vans and then some new stuff for Airsoft.
Clothes and shoes.
Well, I got a lot of things, but I got like a new drawing display, so that was nice.
What I got for Christmas?
Yeah.
I got. Fuck, the fuck did I get? I got a bunch of like Hot Wheels and a Fast and Furious car, just like that big.
The Lego sets?
Nah, I did get Lego sets though.
I got a couple of hats, some clothes, and some money.
Thank you for watching Inside KISD student-produced television. For Isabella, Lara, our crew backstage, and all of us here at the Career Center, I'm Briana Razo. We'll see you next time on Inside KISD.
Our vision is to empower students to be knowledgeable, confident in their skills, prepared, and competitive as they transition into post-secondary education and career opportunities as productive members of society. The KISD Career Center. Dream big. Work hard.